Go and Talk Forest TV. My name is Jack and welcome to my preview for the Nottingham Forest versus Peterborough United game that's taking place at the City Ground on Saturday. So Peterborough not had the greatest start to the season, currently find themselves 22nd. That does put them in the relegation zone. Last 5 games they have drawn 1 and lost 4 if I remember correctly. They're not doing too well, to say the least. I mean, they're an interesting side. Peterborough got some good players. You know, the likes of Johnson, Clark, Harris, Ricky J. Jones, Suiki Dembele, Smodux. I think he's actually out injured. Taylor. You know, they've got a decent little side there. But unfortunately, I mean, no disrespect to them, they do look like a side you probably would expect to go down. A team that, you know, I don't mean this in any bad way because they've got some good players and, you know, they're sort of like a mini Brentford in a way. They'll pick up a player, build him up like they did with the Somalonga, sell him on for a decent fee and then reinvest that in 1, 2, 3 players who can be built up to do that. You know, you're looking at the minute players like Suiki Dembele came from Grimsby. Potential that he could move on to a team high up in the league, a constant championship side. You know, you can't really call them a yo-yo side as such because, you know, yes, they have been up and down between the Championship and League One over the last decade or 2 decades. But unfortunately, you know, for them, sometimes they don't always bounce straight back up. They do spend 1 or 2 seasons back down there. They have been a little bit unlucky over the last few years. I know they got quite unlucky with COVID and one thing and another in terms of that. They were on an excellent run, and then the season had to be stopped and due to, I think it was points per game that it got judged on or something like that. They did miss out on the automatic promotion places, which no doubt by the end of the season, if it did carry on, they would have finished there. But, unfortunately they missed out. So, yeah, for them to be back in the Championship, I've got not a soft spot for Peterborough, but I don't mind Peterborough, to be honest. They're a decent little club. I don't mean that in any condescending way, but, I like the model they have. I like the model that Brentford have where they pick up players cheap, sell them on, build them up, allow them to leave. You know, Forest probably do this a little bit. I know Derby definitely did it and that's why they're in this mess. We sort of get a good player, we want to keep hold of him. Obviously you do. You'll try and keep as many good players at the club as you can. Whereas the clubs like Brentford, like Peterborough, they buy a player for cheap, build him up to become one of their best players, then let him go, and that's how they work, that's how they evolve, that's how they keep going, that's how they improve. Look at how it's worked for Brentford. They were able to offload Ollie Watkins, they were able to offload Neil Maupay over the course of a few years, Said Ben Rama, be able to bring in players to fill in those positions. Ivan Toney's a big one. His goals fired them up to the Premier League. It's a brilliant model, and I really like that. And it's pretty cool that Peterborough do that sort of thing. But I'm just not too sure on whether they have the quality this season or the squad, the strength in depth, and consistency to stay up. But I'd like to see them stay up. It'd be pretty cool if they did. But I'm not too sure if they will. In terms of the game, I expect Forest to win this one. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Forest, I think. Maybe you could see George Grant coming back to haunt us a little bit, but I do think it'll be a commanding 2-0 win for Forest. I think it's a game where if you're being serious about doing anything this season, you have to beat them without really any fuss. You know, you have to try and get out and sort of go in and go out without really any fuss, having to really struggle too much. And I think we will win the game. Will we struggle? I don't know. I think it'll be a 2-0 Forest win. Goal scorers for me, I'm gonna go with James Garner. Actually, maybe will he play? I don't know. He deserves to play, but Colback is back from suspension, so I don't know about that. But I'm going to go with James Garner, and I'm going to go with Philip Zinkernagel. Why not? But I think it'll be a game that we should win. We should do quite well in. If we can get those wing backs high up like we like to see. I've seen Asai Tutu's back training with the club, and he can play over on the left. I'm not suggesting he'll be playing in this game, because I'm not sure on his fitness levels, and from what I can gather, I don't think that he's going to be ready for this game. But, to see him training, that's good. Hopefully he can be back pretty soon. Obviously, we do have Bong there at the minute, and, fair play to him. He's... people give him a lot of stick, Gaetan Bong, but he must have done something right to play well, or play for Brighton, play in the Premiership, which is more than some of our players can say, to be honest with you. So, he's not awfully bad. He's not great, he's not convincing, but, if he does play, maybe this is a kind of game for him against a less opposition, but maybe they can target Bong and try and get their joy that way. I don't know. Hopefully, or maybe Cooper might shift Colback over there, so that could be an interesting thing to see. He's definitely done that before. But no, if we can utilise the pace of Spence, Johnson down that right hand side, the technique of someone like a James Garner to pick out the passes, Zinkernagel good with the ball at his feet, and stay solid at the back when we need to be, then I think we can win this game. Joe Worrell was absolutely outstanding against West Brom. He was unbelievably good, and a performance like that on Saturday, and it'll be a really good foundation to build on. I think McKenna's doing really well, excellently well on that left-hand side. Figueiredo's come in, and a lot of people are saying he's kind of done here. Maybe he should be going, or he should... not really be in the first team, but we've switched to that 5 at the back formation, and he's doing really, really well. He looks really assured, to be honest with you. Samba looks like he's back to his best, which is wonderful to see. But no, I just think it's really, things are looking decent at Forest. Okay, over the last few games, 2 0-0 draws haven't been great. Maybe we were probably the second best team against West Brom, but defended really well and didn't really allow them to have too many gilt edge opportunities. Maybe you could say that one right at the end for Jordan Hugill was, but he didn't take it, luckily for us. But I do think, some players are coming back into form. Garner looked excellent last time out, and he had a bit of stick before that. So if we can keep these good runs going, these good performances going, and these improvements in performance and form for players, then we could look really good, and we could be on our way to pushing ourselves up the table. I don't really think that our position in the table at the minute reflects sort of how things are going. We're down in 16th at the minute, 9 points off the relegation zone, and to be in 16th, you're sort of looking at a team who are inconsistent, aren't really playing too great, picking up wins here and there, maybe drawing a lot of games, which we are doing, but also we're not losing games. It's 1 loss in 12 under Cooper, so we're not doing traditionally bad for a team down in 16th, 17th, where we were last season. We just need to turn those draws into wins, be a bit more decisive with our chances, and we could really be up there. So I think it'll be a really good foundation to build on and to build off. In the Peterborough game, it's a chance where we can sort of be the dominant team, have the ball more, have more of the chances, and hopefully, I'd love to see Grabban score. I didn't predict him to score, but I'd love to see him score just to get him back in his scoring ways. He got a brace against Preston at home, the last weekend game we played at the City Ground. So hopefully he can get another goal or two in this one. But I'm going to go with 2-0 Forest, and I think it's going to be a game that we will win quite convincingly, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Peterborough did put up a little bit of a fight. Obviously they've got to, but I do believe with the quality we've got and the players at our disposal, we should go on and win this game fairly comfortably. I'll run through my predicted 11 quickly before I end this video. I'll say Samba in goal, a back 5 of Spence, Worrell, Figueiredo, McKenna, Colback, a midfield 2 of James Garner and Ryan Yates, and in a front 3 of Grabban, Johnson and Zinkernagel. But yeah, we need to get the ball in the box for Grabban, I did notice sort of the balls in weren't too good in terms of quality. So if we can get better balls in the box, then hopefully we'll see him on the end of them. But yeah, 2-0 Forest is my prediction. That's what I'm going to go with. If you did enjoy, smash the like button. Let us know in the comments what you think the score will be, who you think will start, any changes you might make to the start 11 from the one that played against West Brom. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. And come on, you Reds.